can't chew, can't talk properly like you used to, can't even sing the way you used to.
You cannot smile and you cannot engage anyone.
I had a lady who had been to 3 hospitals and was not helped, and no oral surgeon or dentist would see her because of economics. She couldn't afford it. Her mouth was swelled, I would say out about 2 to 2.5 inches, and her jaw was locked shut.
They come in and they're just, pain is just etched on their faces.
And how hard it is on children today in school to be bullied. Think about when their teeth are bad. It's hard enough when they're poor.
We have a completely preventable situation, economically preventable, and it has escalated into an economically unaffordable situation.
People's circumstances aren't always their fault, and we can't sit in judgment of where they find themselves.
People are hurting financially. Their teeth are the first thing they neglect. I mean, you've got to feed your kids. You've got to pay your electric bill. You've got to pay your mortgage if there's any hope you're going to hang on to your house.
And even now, some of the people who were great contributors in the building profession 6 years ago are now recipients of care because they don't have any money.
And they're like a house that has gone into disrepair. They need a lot of work to catch back up to where they've been.
One patient confided in her that she felt invisible because nobody wanted to help her. Nobody wanted to look at her because her teeth were so ugly. And that after she went to the clinic and was treated, she didn't feel invisible anymore. She felt like she was a real person.
We change lives, and we have the motto, we change lives one tooth at a time, and these guys do it.
You're a human being. You're in pain. I can help.
What this clinic has allowed me to do is to practice purely out of love.
It all started in the spring of 2003 in the outreach committee of the Church of the Good Shepherd here in Cashiers. And we were looking for a way to help Hispanic workers who were pouring into the area at the time.
A medical van showed up in Cashiers to offer medical and dental care. And in 2 days, they saw all the people who were there for medical reasons and saw a dozen or so that were there for dental care and left 150, 200 people standing in the rain when the van pulled away.
And I remember at the end of that, there was one woman who had come 3 nights in a row with her children, really wanted her children to be seen, and was so upset that she walked away crying because none of the nights was she able to get her children there to the dentist.
After that first weekend in 2003, there was a core group of people who put their heads together and said, we need to figure out how to meet this desperate need for dentistry in this area.
That led to an effort really spearheaded by Susan and Tom Smith, who is our founding dentist.
And she and David Beam, the preacher at the Methodist Church, came to me and said, what do we need to do? So I said, you need a physical plant and you need chairs and a working environment that's pleasant and efficient to do dentistry in.
She bought into the commitment that a freestanding dental clinic could be created. And then she was the prime motivator to get Dr. Tom Smith to go out and find equipment.
He collected enough to furnish an office pretty well and told Susan and the others that you find a permanent home for this and I'll come use this equipment there.
And it was at about that time that a dental office opened up for sale. It was local dentist John Gallagher who decided to retire and sell his practice.
And during the clinic time in 2003, my mother had died.
And she'd been pouring herself heart and soul into this project for, I think, close to 18 months at that point. Her mother died and left her an inheritance.
And I talked to David Beam about it. I talked to God about it. And I said, is this really what I'm supposed to do with this money?
And Susan used her inheritance money from her mother's death and purchased that facility.
Dear Dr. McDonald, I'm glad you helped me. Love.
Dear Dr. McDonald, thank you for fixing my teeth. Love.
Dear Doctor, and my teeth feel good now. Love.
I would never have been able to get my teeth pulled if it hadn't been for you. When I think of you, I think of angels, because you are angels doing God's work.
I mean, we're very interested, truly interested in their lives and the way that they live and what they need and what they want. And we really try to fit all of their needs.
We do have a crisis in this area, I think. It's a cultural crisis, it's a medical crisis, it's a dental crisis, it's a fiscal crisis. Everybody's got a fiscal crisis.
Very good to be involved when you can see exactly where everything goes. You know where the money comes from, and you know where it goes, and you know what it yields. And that's different than so many types of charities where you just write a check and you never get involved, you never see the human face of what happens.
There's just an awful lot of effort put in by the executive board, by the executive directors, and so forth. And we've been fortunate, and I think there is some divine providence in that. Birds of a feather flock together, but grace helps.
It wasn't just dentists who got this started, it was lay people. And it always amazed me that they were observant enough to see the need and then follow through with it.
I would also like to say that this is a God thing, because I was never allowed to rest.
Still church supported, church sponsored. Churches hold dental Sundays for us. God runs through our clinic, and we have a lot of God moments in our clinic.
It's exciting to see our little clinic grow to the point to be able to help these people so that they can grow.
To go into Ingalls or to another store and have somebody all of a sudden throw their arms around you and say, Dr. Smith. And I used to be scared, but I'm not scared anymore. That's a good thing.
And if it wasn't for this clinic, I couldn't give a smile. From October to December, I had no smile. And they gave me my smile back. And now I give my smile to everybody again.
I just feel like that being out in the public now, when people look at me, they're not laughing at me.
I can't think of too many other things that you could write a check for that you would ever feel better about, ever feel better about. And the payoff is tremendous.
I got to say that there's a higher power working here.